some unforgettable moments. We will share what left an impression on us. It's like the Sinners movie. Bad things keep coming back. Speaking of the past, we go back to the future and look at the 1999 Gallup poll about 2025. Makes me wonder what 2050 will be like when AI or Elon Musk controls the world. Hopefully, the one with the heart wins. Open AI, we're counting on you. Then we close things out with the Robinson Report.
Welcome to my Mic Sounds Nice, a freestyle conversation about health, relationships, and culture. Once again, this is Tim, one of your hosts. Always glad to be in the building.
My mic sounds nice. This is Kevin, aka Reggie Jacks, coming from the Bronx. Thanks for tuning in and sharing your time with us today.
My mic sounds nice. Good to see y'all. Happy New Year. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. Welcome 2026.
2026,
We
yes.
here.
It's funny. I always struggle with the changing of the year in January. Like, it takes me like a month to really be like,
Ah!
I'm in this place, not in the old place.
Oh, well, good thing you're still not in school where you had to write the date on the top and you're like you're turning in work that's 12 months late because you're putting 25 instead of 26.
Yeah, man.
It's like I wasn't even taking this class last year at this time. So, but and we wanted to just before we get into our topics, we just wanted to quickly I wanted to ask each of you a question. Can you think of one thing you want to do this year that you have never done before? So not necessarily resolution and all of that, just do something that you've never done before.
Kev.
You know, for years I said I wanted to jump out of a plane. I wanted to go skydiving.
Oh God.
Not sure I'm going to be able to get to that. My plan B is if I don't do skydiving, but I didn't really think about, like, I've said it for years and never really worked on it. But thank you, Tim. I'm going to put it. Either I'm going to go skydiving or I'm going to climb the edge. It's a building in the Hudson Yards, and they let you, like, it's up at the top. Probably I think it's one of the highest observatory decks. It might even be higher than the Empire State Building, and you actually go even a little higher to the very top and climb, rappel down it. So maybe I'll do that. One of them two things.
Wow. So hey, I know you and Kev is locked in. I didn't see any non-verbal alignment from you at all. Like that was one of those like, worry about yourself, Kev. Worry about yourself.
I'll take pictures and tell me how it was. Because no.
Hit it with the Matumbo. No.
No way. This is a difficult one, Tim, because there's something I want to do and I hadn't planned on doing it. But it's funny you say this because I just saw that there is a pathway for me to do this, and I want to learn how to play the drums. I grew up in a house. All my family's musicians, everybody from my mother, you name it, aunts, cousins, they all play instruments, some of them professionally. And I grew up around music, and I had drums in my house up until I was 18. And I would play on them, but I never got any lessons from my family members. I never learned. And then I just saw recently there's a path for me to learn. And I was like, oh, that'd be nice. And until you said it now, like, maybe that's something that I really want to do. Maybe now's the time. I mean, I'm never going to get good at it. You're not going to learn an instrument in your 50s and be great.
You never know.
But to go and just have fun and be able to play something, and also it's a stress reliever. Hitting drums is a stress reliever. So yeah. Now, I like to play drums.
Better than hitting switches. You're right.
Yeah. So yours flows into mine's, and I want it's either I want to learn how to produce like I have an MPC one in my house that I need to learn how to produce, DJ, or play the djembe. But in essence, it's like I want to learn and practice and do something musical, especially now teaching hip hop. Like I'm always asked,
Yeah.
and as you said, being around it and then just talking about it. And I MC, but people are like, yo, do you play an instrument? Like, do you make beats? Like, it's almost kind of like, yo, you got to do something because it's all around you. Like
Yeah.
I've sat in studios, and so that was what really was the impetus behind the question. And the fact that it made you struggle, it was really part of my way to get back at you for the past two, buy, borrow, burn. So we can now start 2026 in its proper fashion. So, this was really about getting at the producer, Kev, Reggie Jacks.
He needs help.
Yeah, he clearly he needs help. Well, see, but here's the thing: everything that we all mentioned, our wives have to give the green light.
Yeah.
That it's like we all said it, but it's like the really fine print is subject to change without notice. So
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. The plane, I don't know if she's like gonna let me skydive, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like bump up that insurance.
Yeah, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. So
Yo, could you see Kev skydiving, man?
yes.
And
Honestly,
then the thing about it is after
I really could.
I me too. And the worst part is after he does it, with an instructor, I could see Kevin going on to do it solo and be like,
yeah,
I want to jump out without anybody.
My thing is like I could see him doing it and really enjoying it and then wanting to do it well.
Absolutely.
And then it's like, oh, let's change the feet. Let's change the topography. Let's do it in weather.
Yeah. So I took a group of kids to go I think it's Sky Zone or something. The place where like the big tower, the wind tunnel, right? So had a grant, was able to take like 60 kids.
Oh wow.
Right, to go do it. So like we have
so y'all pretty much shut it down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going and they're like, oh, I get to go too. Oh, bet. So, typically they just go, you just kind of balance on there. They're not taking you up because it's your first time there. I'm watching, I'm paying close attention to the posture, everybody's posture while they're doing it in the videos. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna mimic that as best I can. So I get in there, I mimic it. The woman that's doing it with me, then she takes me all the way up to the top. Then she takes me down and she's spinning and we're doing all types of like things. And then she's like, I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to do that, but I just got so excited because you were doing it so well. I was like, yep, I'm ready.
Nothing can stop him. He's all the way up. Yeah. So, all right, let's get in.
Let's get in.
Man.
All right. So we're going to start off with the 2025 year in well, not so much a year in a review. The things that kind of resonated with us, that really touched us, that impacted us, that we that's most important to us. I guess we'll go around one by one. I know each of us have two things.
That'll work.
So who wants to start first? Who wants to kick it off?
Go ahead, Tim.
All right. See, this is the producer getting back at me. See, I tell you, shots for shots. And also know that what we're bringing up is not necessarily in order by which they happen. And this is not to say that something we didn't mention was not important. The key is just something that resonated with us, and just giving that quick synopsis. Why? For me, my first one was when President Trump assigned National Guard from different regions of the country in Washington, D.C. And what really increased the impact for me personally is that it happened in August, and it happened right at the time that college students were coming back to the various schools in Washington, D.C., in particular at Howard. I teach at Howard, and it was one of those things that I really wasn't thinking about it as a thing until coming to campus and meeting students who were new to Howard. And this was in the backdrop of what it was that they were seeing. And it made me think about us. And when we first came to DC, and for most of us, it's your first time being away from home from an extended period of time. But now we're older, so I'm thinking as a parent, so I'm having all of these multiple different entry points of how would I help my child process their movement, seeing National Guards, and then they were, going in particular neighborhoods and different things like that. So for me, that was something that just really resonated with me, because I found myself having to have conversations and address students in a way to deal with something that wasn't part of the intro to DC script. Like, coming to DC is challenging enough. that made it that much worse. And then also, one of our dear friends' daughter was just starting. So it was like, yo, let me make sure that you're good, and other LUFI members who have children there. So that really hit me, because I needed to make sure that they was all good.
And to me, Kevin and I, and on the pod, we've discussed this back and forth, and Kevin's like, oh, norms have always changed, and I never had the answer to that. It's like, oh, norms are in flux. And I thinking about it today, because the National Guard being used by the president on home soil is unprecedented, and a change of a norm. And Kev has historically been like, norms change all the time. The reason it's bothersome, and what my answer to Kev should have been all year long, is that there's no pushback. So norms are changing. Trump is disrupting norms, like today in Venezuela, and there's no pushback. No one is standing up and stopping him. And what I say by that, not that there aren't no King's protests and things of that nature. So people are resisting, but actual people taking steps to make this difficult for him. It is surprisingly easy for him to just do whatever he wants, essentially, almost whatever he wants without any pushback.
And to that point, it was the fact that DC not being a state.
Yeah.
So it made it easier. Like, there was challenges in other states where we're going to take you to court. The mayor really had to comply, and then she was catching backlash because she didn't do what you were saying. That just like, okay, norms are changing, but at some point there should be accountability resistance, because the protest is resistance, but that resistance move in and of itself doesn't normally garner results.
In 1975, if this happened, the president would be impeached. If a president tried to do that in 1975 in America, they would not be able to keep their job.
Well, the issue is, Aaron, that there is a mechanism for it. Just the people that are in charge of the mechanism are not willing to push the button. One of the things I say about norms, and I definitely agree that that's troubling. Living here in New York, being here on 9/11, National Guards came in all around the city, all of the subways at different points in times throughout these past 25 years. We've had, sometimes National Guardsmen show up, and initially it would be alarming. You see them there with their long guns. You walking up the steps of the subway, and they're there at the top. It's like, yo.
You like, yo.
right. Initially, it's alarming. And at different times when they were surging, there was a problem with violence. The state, the governor put in National Guardsmen. Over time, as norms changed, I kind of stopped paying attention to it. Yesterday, I'm on my way out to the club, and 50 years old going to the club. I know, but whatever. But it was an 80s joint, so I'm not here acting up.
It wasn't Playboy Cardi New Year's bash.
Yeah, and I was with my wife, so
yeah.
And Melly Mel was there, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so on my way, and I'm trying to get to my transfer, and these National Guardsmen are coming my way, and I'm like, oh man, they blocking my path. I know this train is about to come. I didn't even think twice about it until you mentioned it. So that's just the thing of how norms it was alarming. I see them periodically on surges sometimes. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not, and it's the norm. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
No,
it's just how you get
and I
acclimated to
acknowledge
it.
that, Kev, but there is one caveat that does make it different. They were never there for you in New York, for us.
Oh,
None of us felt like the National Guard is here to take me down, or is here for American citizens.
I
The
understand, but
National Guard
I
is
don't
here
ever
to
feel
prevent
uncomfortable about
terrorism.
any police. I don't care like when
Yeah, but their mission matters. The mission matters. It does. It
no,
matters.
no. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I think that it impacts a bunch of people in different ways. You know, while I might not feel it's there for me, Mamdani in that community, the Muslim community, the Sikh community, because they get confused, they might feel like they're there for them. So I mean, but it's overall, it's a horrible thing. And our major issue with that impact to me is that the mechanisms that exist are not being used, and
Yeah.
that allows the norms to change super fast, which is what has happened.
I mean, like the reason I said the 70s, because, and then we can go on to Tim's next thing, but
No, you go next.
Each one of us was doing one, so we can move it around.
So to me, the reason it's important is because in the 70s, when you had Watergate, all of the newspapers were willing to stand up and say, hey, this is a problem. The TV channels were willing to stand up and say, hey, this is a problem.
Yeah, but that took time.
That the power of creating the entire population to feel wrong about a situation was used and exercised, and it kept things in check. And now that we don't have that, it is disturbing. Our president today went into another country and took a sitting president and his wife and brought him back to America for, to be brought on trial for drug charges. Like, what world are we living in? And when we continue to let these norms just slip and allow people to do more and more and more, at some point there's a breaking point where things fall apart.
I agree, but we put them in power. So I mean, you might not have the government we want, but we have the government we deserve.
No, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go next. For me, one of the most impactful things was the social media ban in Australia on youth 16 and under. And I think it can be a tipping point. Studies have shown that in Australia, while kids have tried to figure out, VPN, look up VPNs and things of that nature, it is significantly lower than people investigating the impact of the ban. So essentially, the ban is, more effective than we may think. Now, over time, it just occurred. Over time, that may change. What I find interesting about it most of all is that France is looking into it. A myriad of other Western European countries are looking into it. And I think that, and they want to do it this year also. If that is the case, and that does occur, you may find a domino effect where most of the major Western powers or world powers will fall in line and adopt similar legislation. And if that occurs, then you could really maybe have an effect where we can take back children's lives and not let them being mainly controlled by an algorithm. So I think it's the potential for positivity in the social media realm for children.
I mean, that would be fantastic. I wish it would offer some support for adults too, as far as social media. Um, I just, I, I can't see it happening in America. I could see a lot of Europe doing it. If after Sandy Hook, after 20 kids die, and we can't do any legislation that day, I can't imagine
Yeah.
and anybody really caring enough.
It's impactful. Yeah. Same point. Yeah, I just feel like it's trying to get toothpaste back into the tube. We are so profit driven. that it's like you said, we're not focusing on guns, and we're seeing bodies of children at schools. Are we really going to make those changes? But I do think at some point, if it continues to build momentum, and maybe this is us being older, and that as we continue to grow, the age of leadership prayerfully will begin to go down, and it may be certain ones who are more global minded and idealistic and are closer to the age of the young people who are directly being impacted by social media. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
No, I definitely hear you guys, especially about America, but I don't want to be so US centric that we don't
Yeah,
that we miss the
Yeah.
point, because Europe has consistently, where America has fallen down in the last 20 years, Europe has been the leaders on a lot of change that eventually affects us.
it
Off the
goes.
top of my head, I can think of the USB-C on our phones. We only have that in America, or all electronic products essentially. We only have one unified system because Europe said no, no Apple, no Samsung. This is what you're going to do. And those corporations are like, okay, I'm not just going to do it in Europe. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So Europe can, if the rest of the world and the major powers fall in line, which is a big, big if, it could affect America. And if it doesn't affect America, and we want to be pig-headed, at least I can have peace of mind knowing that other places are okay.
You could be George Clooney and move to France.
It can, and you're absolutely right. I think for Kev and I, it's interesting. We both lean not only into social media but also to guns. And to your point, you think about it, the world is way ahead on gun control and norms, and we are archaic and going in the worst direction. But it doesn't minimize the idealistic and optimistic point of view of what you brought up. I just think it's a continuing conversation about norms. And I think we do have to deprogram that American-centric feeling, because we really are not the leader that we either ever thought we once were. We definitely in it now.
Yeah.
But, so really great point. What you got? Is this a Reggie Jackson one, or is this a Kev
one? Are you scorching the earth? Are you giving us a hug?
Yeah, right. I gotta get prepared. I gotta, right. Where we at.
I'm gonna go in between. I'm gonna stay in the technology realm, right? It's about artificial intelligence. Overall, just the whole conversation around it, what's been going on. People are use of it, refusing to use it, or going all in, losing jobs, all of that stuff. It's just the impact, and I'm interested to see what it's going to look like in 2026. But to me, a couple of things about artificial intelligence is it's basically powering our economy right now. I don't know how many people really know or understand, but like kind of the technology stocks, which is like 90% of the market, 90% of what's really propping up the financial market. It's all about spending within AI. And then you've got like this circular dealing where, like, let's say one company, Oracle, they pledged $300 billion to OpenAI. OpenAI takes that money and they spend it, and then they spend some on Oracle, they spend some on NVIDIA in order to to purchase more chips. So now NVIDIA stock goes up, Oracle stock goes up because they're using some of their cloud services, and it's going back and forth. With all of this, there's this one chart where it's like $800 billion of money is flowing back and forth between the same people. Same thing, NVIDIA, they gave money to OpenAI. OpenAI gives that money right back to NVIDIA for chips. And like all of this money that they owe, they're promising $300 billion in purchases over the course of like the next couple of years, 10 years or so. But their revenue was only like $14 billion a year.
And buy me a cheeseburger today, I'll gladly pay you one
Tuesday.
And yes. and it's like we have that problem. We have an electrical grid problem because artificial intelligence uses so much energy, and how much in order for them, if they hit their targets, how much energy they need. Yet we've never built that much energy in 1 year in order to power these things. So it's like there's a lot of things that are being propped up that sound good in theory, and I'm just concerned that it's going to knock us into a recession because we're not really being honest with what's going on. And then on the other side, I look at artificial intelligence where people are losing jobs and other people refusing to learn it. And OpenAI might not. I mean, artificial intelligence might not take your job, but the job is definitely going to go to the person that knows how to use it. And in our community, I get concerned about my community where we stay away from technology in so way like I don't believe this, I don't want to use this, and we get left behind. We got left behind as far as when it comes to just computers. And when we jump in, it's like, oh, let me learn how to use artificial intelligence. No, I want you to learn how to code for artificial intelligence. I want you to be a computer scientist. Like the engineers at OpenAI make $1 million a year. Just the regular engineers. Like they were when they were poaching other people, they were offering people like Facebook. Meta was offering like $100 million for people. And there's money to be made. It's still the wild west as far as the market is concerned. And I just hope that our community can find a way to also join in.
Yeah. AI is so funny that if you look at films like The Terminator and the predictions of AI, and then you see
iRobot.
Yes, iRobot, and then you see parallels of our real society, and those things do a good job of scaring people away. But I think what you're saying is so important, Kev, that we can't miss the train this time. The last train we missed, we could walk to the destination. This time we missed the train. There ain't no walking.
And I'm saying, but we think when we missed the train, it's like, oh yeah, we got to learn computers. They start putting computers in school, and they just teach you how to use Word, and that's not where we need to be.
It's a thing where what is being presented as a way to enhance our creativity and innovation actually ends up stifling it. Because my fear is that it's like we'll begin to use it, but we're not using it for its full potential. It's kind of like, oh, social media is great, and we create and we post content for World Star, whereas other people are using it to really advance and address issues and things like that. So I hope, like you said, hey, we don't miss the train, and that we make our own train, we create our own tracks, and we don't just get caught up with using it the way that is presented to us as the way to use. Yeah, because that's never the whole game. You know what I mean? That it's because they will create a space for us to think we're flourishing in, but it's still fueling the whole system that's keeping us, proverbially boxed in.
Yeah, and Tim, like as adults, we're educated people. We know what tools can enhance. Like we know where we need support.
Yeah,
and we know at times when we make conscious decisions. Okay, I know I shouldn't do this right now, but I'm gonna do this because this is not that important.
Mm-hmm.
And the important things, like we know how to use the tool to just kind of massage us along, push us along, or help us learn something. Young people don't have that, and there's no real guardrails. And one of the issue with all technology is Aaron Porter and just AI, like technology, they always overpromise what it can deliver, and it undersells the negative impact.
Yeah, what can happen. So. And it can potentially cripple communities and generations who already struggle with real human interaction and relationships. Because we like we're able to use these tools. Like, I mean, okay, Lu-Fi. We have a vibrant text thread that now has created offshoots. That's a whole nother conversation. But that's technology holding together, not constructing the relationship. I think for our children, technology is constructing the relationship, and that doesn't withstand the wind and rain as much as when your foundation was already there. So Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So then my second one, and we're gonna get through these a little bit quicker. My second one was September 10th, and it was the murder of Charlie Kirk. Um, for me personally, I'll go on the record. I had never really heard of him until he was murdered. My son brought it to my attention, and the way he brought it to my attention really sparked my attention because he was like, yo, why is everybody like mourning such a hate-filled man? So I'm like, okay. And and honestly I went kind of the faith route that, you know, God has compassion to everybody, blah, blah, and this that and the other. But then the next day I had class, and the next day was September 11th. And so I went into class understanding that none of my students were born on 9/11. And so, but after talking to my son, I figured that they probably had opinions about Charlie Kirk. And so, as opposed to what was scheduled for the day, I just wrote on the board, how do you feel today being an American? And for 90 minutes, you know, my students just began to just share and pour out and get emotional, not just for being at Howard, but they began to tap into where they are from. And depending on where they're from in the nation, it's like, yeah, we're very familiar with the rhetoric of Turning Point, da da da, because I live here. Whereas you had other people that's like, nah, because I live on 125th. Like, you know, growing up on 125th versus growing up in Oklahoma, two different dynamics, but both of those students are sitting in the same classroom with a Howard lens and things like that. So that for me, you know, what was my thing, because I just had an opportunity to really see young people and know that a lot of what he was doing was going to college campuses and creating these conversations, if you want to loosely call it that, amongst other things. So to be able to have that there, and then moving forward the next month, allegedly there was going to be the Candace Owens group was going to come to different Black universe HBCU homecomings and try to continue to work. So all of that was kind of, and then the students, like, you know, how do we address that if it happens on our campus? So that for me was my second one.
Yeah. For me, Charlie is really interesting. Whereas I think he's extremely important to the Republican movement, and was one of the first people to go and speak to youth and actually try and build young Republican minds, you know, at that age where your political understanding is kind of cemented for life.
Republican minds or MAGA minds?
MAGA minds, yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying that to minimize your point, because
that's fair.
Because the strategy of what he was doing, and the only reason why I'm saying is because we found out after the fact there was a student group called Young Republicans that dated them, yes, Charlie Kirk. But so that was the only reason why I was bringing it up. But to your point,
I think that's fair.
It's a great point.
No, I think that's fair, and I understand why he's extremely valuable to the MAGA movement, and he was helpful to the president getting elected. But I think he is a result of the social media age that we live in which you can create a narrative that doesn't have to be based upon truth. So to compare him to Dr. King is ridiculous. To say he needs a national holiday is ridiculous.
To fire people who disagreed with him, to fire people who use his words, who just quoted him, Charlie Kirk, and then they get fired for being disrespectful, is ridiculous.
Exactly. And or to have a disagreement with someone who said, you know, I feel some kind of way if a Black pilot, you know, is driving my plane. And then the discussions that he had on campuses weren't really truly honest debates. They really weren't that. It was debates designed for him to win and make his point, and his talking points weren't really designed to foster any growth but he
was
wrapped it up in that, hey, let's all talk and let's all build rapport.
at the moment he was shot. He was in the midst of doing that because there was this question about gun violence, and he was like, I think it was gangs or not gangs or something like
Yeah.
that. He was in the midst of doing the rhetoric that he's popular that he's
And it was
known to do.
it was the first stop of a college tour
Yeah.
that he was about to go on. And I mean, you know, you think about it, we've spent time on college campuses, and you bring up an amazing point. It's not a debate if you're not even creating the space to first teach and share and grapple with information. It really was bulldoze setup discussions, and then using social media to get the clips that would become the most egregious and most fanfare.
Yeah.
And then, Kev, to your point, that it's like his
And
whole
altering the clips.
and
altering the
yeah,
clips.
and it's like, but it's like his whole premise was around free speech.
Yeah.
But look at the backlash of people who operated in that, but wasn't necessarily aligned to what he was speaking about. So it's like speech is free if you agree with me.
Yeah. It was another moment where we see two Americas.
Clearly. Yep.
Yeah.
So all right. So for me, speaking of two Americas, Mom Donnie is me. All right.
Okay. All right.
I thought Reggie Jackson was on the scene.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, which America?
So Mom Donnie being elected, you know, I have to admit, being a New York City resident, I was not even thinking about Mom Donnie. I was disappointed with my choices during the primary, and it was my son that turned me on to Mom Donnie.
Wow.
And you know, I started paying attention. I'm like, oh, you know what? I kind of like his points. I like what he's saying. You know, went on to vote for him. I think when he walked through when he walked from Manhattan with Kid Mero, I was like, yo, look mad hype. He walked the length of Manhattan the weekend before the primary, and like just people were crowded all around him, and you can kind of see the energy, and I like his ideas and his thoughts. You know, believe it or not, even though my degree is in accounting, I don't know if I'm not a full-on socialist, but I understand that the system that we have, the economic system that we have there, is not sustainable for the people. It's just not. The wealth inequality, the amount of the difference between the amount of money that the CEOs make compared to the average worker is just, it's unsustainable. When we always talk about they want to go back to the good old days, we didn't have this type of disparity. And, you know, more money flowed to the people underneath and all these things. So I really, really support him. And then when I looked at the Islamophobia that just blatant Islamophobia that occurs, all the articles and everything, and people aren't even hiding. You know, my senator, Kristen Gillibrand, she went on WNYC after the election. She accused him of all things, lied, saying that he said globalize the intifada, and he keeps saying it, and like something he says, he clearly continued to say, I never said it. I never said it. I don't support it, but I'm not into policing speech. But kind of those things just kind of let you know what the America is. You know, when he's in, and every day there's probably 10, 20 articles, 5 or 10 in the Post, just killing them regularly. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
And I'm only going to say one thing, and that if I had a criticism for Mamdani is, you did not have to call yourself a Democratic Socialist. You could have just been the Democratic candidate. And because what's most important is not the label we put on you, it is your ideas. And to wrap yourself in a label, I know that there's some benefits to that too, to the far left, by doing that. But overall, if you just came with these same ideas and were consistent, I think your path would be easier. Your path would be greater, because, you know, you might, I mean, not to say that he couldn't be governor for New York, but he could never be president of this country, you know, by calling himself a Democratic Socialist. So I would just say some of that is self-inflicted and unnecessary, but I'm excited that he's in office, and I just hope he could live up to the promise of what he's
Trying to do.
created, and I'm all for it.
He came in like Trump, to be honest with you. Like with an agenda, the plan.
Yeah,
Started off with executive orders. He wiped out all of Eric Adams' executive orders from September of 2024, the day that Eric Adams was indicted. He any executive order after that point is gone.
Yeah,
and I'm a little concerned about him taking over the education system as
Nah,
mayor.
he already has it.
No, I know, but I don't like him being in favor of that.
Oh,
Anyway,
he changed
that's
it.
another
He-
subject.
no,
We got-
no, no, no,
No,
He
no,
changed.
no.
He changed.
I'm about to say he's in favor of them not being.
When
Like-
he, when
Like
he,
he's
When-
he's appointed the chancellor.
Yeah.
yes, when he
yeah.
introduced the chancellor, he was like, "I like the the mayor's office being working with the chancellor and having." I don't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
He wants to
my
increase the
eyebrow was raised.
he wants to increase the community education council, which is kind of
Yes,
a
Yes.
local thing. And
he said that too.
and the person that is a District 3 person, which is a district that I did a lot of work in, for years. Worked in for like 15, 20 years or so.
I like the fact that he's young. I hope that it mobilizes young people, but the one thing I'll say is I hope that we really take the time to understand how government on all levels work, because you can campaign off of a plan. Because you think about it, Obama campaigned off of a plan. And I'm not comparing New York City to Washington, D.C. and the nation, but if the people who are part of the government in totality are not in alignment with that plan, then their job becomes to block your plan.
Yeah.
And then the people feel like, yo, I voted for you because of affordability. I voted for you because I wanted these things, and my rent still continues to go up and blah, blah, blah. So, so hopefully there's a development that we understand the role that we play and what the role of government is. So, yeah.
So wish him luck.
And now instead of Mr. Dinkins, will you please be my mayor? Mr. Mandani, will you please be my mayor? So,
Okay.
And he better not be bastardized in hip hop. If he gonna be down, he better be down. I'm just saying. So I got my eye on him. What's your last one, A?
The tariffs, particularly the tariffs that started with China at the very beginning, and the concern over the damage that Trump has inflicted upon economies worldwide because he thinks it's a good idea without really understanding, and now having to give the farmers billions of dollars at the end of the year. He really is the type of person that I can see why he went bankrupt, or his corporation went bankrupt, to be fair. Because he's just like, oh, I got a problem. The people think this. The farmers are complaining. Oh, I'll just give them some money. Who cares that my tariffs created issues? So it is once again another norm, a world norm, that this man just runs right past the red light, think light is green all the time. And I am concerned because there's nothing that has made him say my philosophy on tariffs should be modified, at least publicly.
Wow, you're giving him a philosophy on tariffs? That's
Well,
generous. That's generous.
Okay. Thoughts on tariffs? Tariffs are good. Is a philosophy.
I mean,
I love a good tariff.
I mean, the reason I say it's generous because there were certain countries like countries with no export, with hardly any economy, and because they didn't have a, he just tariffed them because the trade surplus was in their favor. But I'm like, dude, like, I don't know.
Sometimes a trade deficit is good for the country.
Are you
It's not that black and white.
Are you a philosopher? Yes.
I mean,
I think very deeply.
Here's, we just have
about to speak.
Yeah, we just have lowly, Howard University educations. He was educated at Wharton. I'm certain.
Facts.
So his economics must be different.
Facts.
Than the one that we received.
Yeah.
Now, but time will tell out because time will tell. Even though he put them in the spring, the way that the shipping and contracting and manufacturing things works, it's really starting to hit now. And
yeah,
well, 2026 will tell a lot. I mean, unfortunately, there's probably a recession coming at some point.
Yeah,
let's just hope it's small.
It also felt when you had said this was the one you was going to focus on. I remember there was a lot of like almost crying wolf. Like it's going to be this if you don't do this by this day, and then because we have an investment group, you would see the change within Wall Street, and then when the day comes, you pull it back. But you made all of the changes in flux because the market is moving based off of the threat.
Which I think they were like,
which I thought was a strategy. That is like, okay,
I think they were manipulating the stock
market.
Yeah,
so it's like you're making money, and so then it became like, So that was the tariff philosophy. So you were right, man. So. But that was our collective take on 2025, and as I said, it was by no means a complete list. And we
could have talked about the fires in LA.
Exactly.
We could have talked about Nigeria.
We could have talked about Kendrick and Samuel L. Jackson at the Super Bowl.
Right. We didn't talk about sinners and any of those things. But fellas, I think we kind of running a little long. I don't know if we want to just go straight to the Robinson report.
Yes.
And kept
yes.
Yeah, the other topic where we talk about the Gallup poll, how they predicted 2025. We're going to get back to that.
We can get to that in our next episode because what came from that is still real. So.
Yeah, and we might even predict what 2050 will look like. Hopefully we'll still be here.
That's the prediction. We ain't.
That's the prediction because I need my flying car.
So
all right. So I'm gonna go first. Let me go to author. Yeah, because I had this. I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah.
So I read this book, Savings and Trust, The Rise and Betrayal of the Freedmen's Bank. After the Civil War, right, they started the Freedmen's Bureau, which was to help the newly free, the formerly enslaved people, to help them get, be acclimated to the American system. So they set the savings bank for them. You can save all your money, put your money in here. It'll help you get your life set up. You can purchase property, or all of these things, right? The Freedmen's Bureau was led by our Howard University's president, the founder, Otis Howard at the time. Right? So Freedmen's Bank, Black people putting their money in, millions of dollars, probably over maybe $100 million in today's money, couple of $100 million. What they did, they came over, they basically ran the bank into the ground. It wasn't Black people that was in charge, but it was the board that they put on. It was just supposed to be saving money. Then they started giving out loans to different companies, loans to different people, loans to board members. And literally within 5 or 7 years, they bankrupted this bank. They put in Frederick Douglass at the end to try to make it seem like they could save it. So basically tarnishing his reputation at the time. And it was just a bad thing. The one thing that I did learn in there is that Howard University in like 1870 or 1868 was worth Howard University got a loan from this. Some of the Black people's money went to the YMCA, who at the time didn't allow Black people to use it. So imagine you're taking my money and I'm supporting people that are against me. And it was a lot of things, trains and things like that. But Howard University was worth $1 million. The property was worth $1 million in like 1860 something. I was kind of amazed that it was that wealthy at that point in time when they were just starting. But yeah, it was a good book. Another reason to be angry. Another reason why you got to keep both eyes open. You got to watch these people. Watch, they crooked. They crooked, yo.
What you got, A?
Two things, because one is it's giving me life, but I haven't gotten it yet, but I've ordered it. Is James. It is basically the adventures of Huckleberry Finn, told through Jim's point of view. So it's a novel. And actually Steven Spielberg has it in production to make it a feature film. And it's actually not a book from this year. Well, last year. See, I told you to. I told you I'd be messed up with my dates. It's not a book from 2025, but it was a 2024 winner of National Book Award for fiction. So I'm interested in seeing, because I remember reading Huckleberry Finn probably high school or whatever. So I'm really interested to see what they've done, and it's by Percival Everett. So I don't have that yet, but I'm excited about getting it. I ordered it 2 days ago. But on a real quick note, my favorite show of all, Shetland, is back. Episode started this week. So if you got BritBox and you're looking for a good British TV show about the Shetland Islands and you like a little murder mystery, Shetland is back this week. So those are my two.
My wife,
one I'm actually living, and one I'm actually waiting for. So
my wife be hitting BritBox heavy, like
Shetland.
Yo,
put on the Shetland.
Goodness, whatever. No, because that means I gotta watch it.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
You can call her. Nah, so for me, I'm wearing this Sutton Plaza sweatshirt. I'm wearing this Sutton Plaza sweatshirt in honor of my brother Jarrell, who just recently passed, and so it's not necessarily his death that's given me life, but the life that he lived. And so in addition to the sweatshirt, I just think about his finger on the pulse of particular indie R&B. And so the two people whose music is giving me life right now in this moment is Eric Roberson and Algebra Blissett. And Eric Roberson went to Howard with us, and him and Jarrell are brothers. They work really closely. And it was Jarrell who actually turned me on to Algebra, who was from Atlanta, who was one of the first artists that he worked with. So I wanted to dedicate my Robinson report to Jarrell, the music, the movement, and the memory. And so just wanted to honor that.
Respect.
Yes. Respect to that. Yeah, Jarrell was a good brother, man.
Yes, definitely, man. He will be missed.
So man. Boy.
Been a tough year for Howard University. 2026 got to be better.
A tough week.
But
you know, as our brother Russ always says, I mean, in the cycle, this is where we are. You know, when you think about it, that I mean, we grew up together. We were with each other as our parents transition, and you know, like I always say, I don't care how old you get as a parent, you never want to bury your child. Never. You don't want to bury your child. You want to bury your nephew. You want to bury your niece. So kind of like in the roller coaster ride of life, there ain't really no more people in front of us getting on that car. So it's for us to continue to live to the best of our abilities with our capabilities. So
tell me, man, where'd you get the Sutton sweatshirt from? Because I didn't even peep that's what it was saying, because I only seen the top. That's dope.
Jarrell was selling them.
Yeah, so Jarrell, in his entrepreneurial genius, it's like, okay, you know, because all right, it is what it is. Howard University, they own the trade. Howard University is trademark, the university, blah, blah, blah. But what he unearthed is that the dorm names are not.
Go ahead.
And so he started this vintage clothing project where he started making shirts beginning with Howard, but then it branched to other HBCUs with the names of dorms, but using the colors of the university, so that if I'm walking, the only way you would know that this was a shirt affiliated with Howard is if you are a part of it.
Yes.
And nothing on here says it. And then, you know, he kind of created a logo that's similar, but it's not. And then he took it even further, because then he started to make it not only dorm names, but using the colors of the Divine Nine. So because you can't trademark a color.
Yeah.
You know, that it's,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, listen, I understand the power of, but you don't own pink and green.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and the list goes on. So that was something that he did that really took off. And you know, you're making an impact when you start getting the cease and desist letters. You know, it's kind of like, you know, back in the day, it's like, hey, Nobody Beats the Biz was popping until the Wiz was like, hey. So, you know, but he always just had that mind of always just thinking of ways to create community and stuff like that. So I have a Drew Hall one, and then a Sutton Plaza one.
I'll tell you, brother. Institutions, when you're not making money in that space and you got to send out a cease and desist, and that wasn't something that you thought of, you shouldn't come in and Bigfoot it. You should actually come in and say, hey, let's partner.
Yeah.
Because you saw something that I didn't see. I was, you know, don't be like, yo, I want to stop your money. Like, please.
And the thing about it is, and in some instances, it was dorms that the university doesn't even own anymore.
Yeah.
Like currently, Sutton Plaza is apartment building.
Yeah.
That, you know, the university sold. So it really becomes this kind of memorabilia piece, as well as, and just really quick, my mentor, who's 8 years older than me, when he saw me with the shirt, he lost his mind, and I had to get him one on the low, because he came to Howard and he was part of the first group that opened Sutton.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, and like I said, he's 8 years older than us. So imagine being a freshman in 1978 living in Sutton Plaza. You know what DC was like.
Yeah.
Yo, he was like, I lost my mind. Because remember, they used to clean it up when we got there.
Yeah.
But
and
this
it wasn't
is
clean.
And it wasn't. I was gonna say it was cleaned up, but wasn't clean. So remember, you think about it. It's like, yo, he was in Sutton not too long after Watergate.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You could not open a Sutton now on any college anywhere in the country. They'd be like, you subjecting this to our children? Nowhere.
It's like, yo, forget social media. Just looked out your window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know, I was supposed to be in Sutton. My freshman, because I didn't have housing, right? Which is why I wound up connecting with the athletic director, Coach Moultrie, you know, and he put me in the in Cook, you know, the sports dorm. But in July, like maybe weeks before, I got a notification that I could move into Sutton. But by then I'd already have Cook Hall locked up.
Thank God, because we may not have met.
We wouldn't have met.
A freshman?
Yeah.
In
Sutton?
Yeah.
With them dudes?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have met none.
I wouldn't have finished.
Yeah. I wasn't. My feeling is I didn't need at 18 to live in a building where you could just go upstairs and the girls was there.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need that. I didn't.
And
it was rough enough. And the pimps
and the prostitutes literally right outside your door.
Like right outside. To your point, Aaron, and for pretty much all of our listeners, you can't imagine, because as Aaron said, it's beyond debate. there is not a college on the planet that could approve and sell to today's young people and their paying parents a dorm that literally, pun intended, was close to ground zero for the nightlife.
Yeah. I'm gonna put you right next to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and you're gonna stand there waiting for shuttle buses while they're there, and
Walk home late at night.
and to make matters
The liquor
worse,
store was right next.
yes,
Right,
next to the liquor store, and to make matters worse, through the alley, we're gonna put an all-girl dorm. So
Yeah.
let's really keep it a buck.
Yeah.
So it's not only us as young
A mile
boys
from campus. A mile
Yes.
from campus.
a mile from campus that really wasn't that walkable.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you could, there's about 3 different neighborhoods that would run.
That you got to get through to get to campus. And then this is in the 80s. You could catch one coming up, getting close to campus. So thank God for praying parents. 'Cause
Yeah.
they was praying, not fully understanding the environment they left their children in.
Aaron navigated us at like 1 a.m. from George Washington Paseo. I had no idea. No cab would pick us up.
Yeah.
And we had to get back. And Aaron, somehow he was like, yo, I think that's Sutton. Yeah, we're going this way. He directed us back. I had no clue.
I mean, like when you think about it, it we'll wrap up here. In our pre-production meeting, we had a really great conversation about the difference in generations and being outside.
Yeah.
Yo, I really truly believe our parents, rightfully so, did not fully understand where they dropped their children off.
Yes. Yes.
And it predates, like, now working at the university, we have an app called Bison Safe where we get alerts. There's been virtual safety meetings with parents. Like, bro, could you imagine the Zoom meeting after the Valley party?
Oh my goodness.
We hadn't taken a class yet. Like, understand, we were formed watching people get jumped and pulled out of a cab from the top of the library, and we decided, like, yo, nobody better not ever leave us.
Yeah.
And so literally 39, almost 40 years later, this August, Lord willing, we are still here. Our parents didn't know.
Yeah. No, they.
It's funny you talk about the Valley party. The young lady that had the psychotic break before the party started and went to Drew and beat up her boyfriend, and then they took her out in a straitjacket. That was before that was like
that was
the
while
party
we was
started. That was as the party started.
That was us getting it, and we're so stupid. That happens, and that didn't deter. That didn't even bring up a conversation of, well, maybe we shouldn't go. Your man is there with a trench coat
In August.
Because first of all, you remember, most of us had never heard of heat index until we got to DC. Because I know in New York, listening to the radio and listening to weather on Channel 11, I never heard of heat index.
That wasn't the 80s thing.
Like, it's like, what? So it's like the real feel is this. So it's like, it's steaming hot. And your man got on a trench coat with shorts. With shorts on. So it's like, yo. And so we glance. Did we leave? No. We continued to party.
Tim, you say that, and I know we had to go, but unfortunately, that tragedy that happened, I don't know, Switzerland, the ski resort in Europe.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the video where the person coming through with the champagne bottle with the sparkler lights the roof on fire, and you could see the roof on fire, and people are filming it. The DJ still playing and partying. And
we watched that, and Vanessa was saying the same thing. She was like, yo, every person that was filming wasn't helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last night, every time I seen a champagne bottle come out with that sparkler, I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye like, yo.
And you think about it, because all of us have been in studio spaces. The ceiling had the black kind of rubber soundproof
Yeah.
on that, which is highly flammable.
Yeah. That's nothing that's a chemistry set on the roof.
Yeah.
Is really
What it was a bunch of champagne bottles with the sparklers, and they're celebrating turning up, and they get too close to it and it catches fire.
Yeah.
So it literally was that rubbery black cut up thing that we use to make homemade soundproofing. That was the ceiling.
Yeah, that's like the little girl when I was at the party and she walked past the candle, and her dress, which was cheap dress, literally went. It's not like it catches on fire a little bit. It goes like this. It's like there's oil in it, so it is
polyester.
Yeah, her dress literally went up like a candle. So it's the same thing with the ceiling. It's not a little fire. It's not, oh, well, this is.
I mean, you could see it. I'm like, what did y'all think it was?
And then you see people kind of waving to get to put it out, but as you're waving, it's spreading.
Yeah. No, you got to leave with those fires. You got to.
That's really a tragedy. Cautionary tale.
Yeah, but also for us, when we encounter our young people, let's have some empathy, because we just ran through some things.
Yeah.
We were idiots.
It's amazing we're still here.
It wasn't till the gun came out of the trench coat that we was like, yo, we should move.
If you didn't realize what the trench coat was about.
Just I had to give that piece A, because I didn't want people to be like, well, maybe he just like, no, there was a gun there.
Yeah.
And it was a shotgun.
It was a shotgun. But to this day, none of us regret that party.
No. That's one of the highlights of college.
Yeah. And that was before classes started.
Everybody say, we hadn't taken a class yet, y'all.
Yeah. You should never be on campus for 2 weeks with nothing to do.
Yeah. To your point now, orientation now is cut by like 60%. Yeah. Because we were there long enough to get with girls and lose them.
Yeah.
Start dating and break up before school starts.
Exactly. Or they got taken back when the upperclassmen came. It was like, oh, that's your girl? Oh, my fault. So, but yeah, man. But yo, first one of 2026 in the can. Next time we talk, we'll be near the college football championship. We would have gotten through the wild card of the playoffs. A whole lot happening. Salute to Aaron's Knicks. He decided, I'm going to wear a New York winner. And it's like, yo, until next time, this is Tim. My mic sounds nice. Peace.
My mic sounds nice. This is Kev.
My mic sounds nice. This is Aaron. Knicks, you shouldn't have lost to Atlanta last night, but I'm rocking with you till the wheels come off this season.
Yes, and Boo Trae Young. All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, man. Yo, that's